I like to think about Donald Duck instead of Donald Sterling, or Roger Sterling instead of Donald Sterling. Both individuals are much happier, nicer people. Hey everybody, so I don't even know how to start this video because there is just so damn much.
If I'm walking and you're perceived as either a Latina or a white girl, why should you be walking publicly with black people? I'm just saying, in your lousy Instagrams, you don't have to have yourself with walking with black people. Bring him here, feed him, him, I don't care. You can do anything, but don't put him on an Instagram for the world has to see, so they have to call me. And don't bring him into my games, okay?
For her and all of her, I'm not a racist, you know what you're getting into when you date somebody like him, so you can step off your high horse for a second. And for him, he's a racist. He's had some dealings with the Justice Department where he didn't want to rent to minorities and he was breaking the Fair Housing Act, and they levied I think it was the biggest fine in history against him. I think it was something like $2 million or something. I've just read Gone Girl, so I'm in a place where I'm getting kind of tired of dealing with annoying people. I'm used to dealing with fantastic, loving men, such as this one right here. Man, look at this, lovely. The tape itself, if you take it for two annoying people, that's what it is. It comes out he's a racist. The Clippers are in the playoffs. And then more tapes come out. I guess they released a tape to Deadspin where it goes into even more detail that this dude is horrible. I feel for the Clippers fans because it's kind of like, well, what do you do? And Marlins fans went through something not as bad at all, where the Marlins had a really shady deal with the city. I think they just paid off the commissioners to get that deal for their new stadium, and they screwed over the taxpayers, which, surprise, surprise. And I can't support the Marlins because if that's the type of shady deals you're gonna do to the people that live there, and who do you think is gonna go to your games, and who do you think are gonna support you? It's the locals. I distance myself from them, and I'd rather cheer for, like another team. So I guess if you're a Clippers fan, you have to decide, what do you want your money to support? You throw your money at people that'll do the right thing. That's the way I live. Someone comes down and I think he goes at it as hard as he can. He basically says, you're banned for life. Yeah, I would go a step further and say the wife can't own it either, but he didn't go that far. He's calling on the owners to basically kick Sterling out of the NBA and have him sell the company, which I don't think he would have said unless I'm assuming he's smart enough not to say that unless he has the votes. The commissioner's job ideally is to keep everyone in check and keep the NBA untarnished. And I felt like Stern never did that. I felt like Stern was mainly for the owners and against the players to some extent. He did what was right for the owners and what would help the NBA, but he wasn't for really the fans or the players. I feel like Silver is going in there and saying, this is what's right for the NBA, which is fine because that's ideally your job, is to protect the reputation of the NBA. But in doing that, he's also protecting the reputation of the players, he's protecting fans, he's not protecting owners at this point, which a lot of the rules that are written in that handbook, everybody's like, well, can't they just kick Sterling out of the NBA? That handbook that's written is mainly for the players. It's not for the owners, and it sure as hell isn't for the fans. So there's a scene in Adventures in Babysitting, which is like my favorite movie growing up, where she said,
don't fuck with the lords of hell. Don't fuck with the babysitter.
He will come after you. If I was a Clippers fan, I would honestly find another team until he's gone, because this is just, and I feel bad if like you're attached to the players, like if you're attached to Chris Paul or if you're attached to Blake Griffin, you can still like them, I guess, but I wouldn't want to be padding his pocket. That's my thing. So it's up to you what you want to do. Another thing that I found interesting is that this girl really ended up taking down Sterling. Like, a lot of people had said, oh, you know, she's at fault too. She took him down. And you are the company you keep. So for people throwing daggers at her, to me, they're both the same person. She is the same as him. Annoying opportunist. He took advantage of her, she took advantage of him. And you may not like it, but she's winning. So you are a reflection of the people you have around you. Basically, I'm a cat. So let me know, I really want to know what everyone thinks about this, because it's fascinating that the NBA now has to take on an owner, because the other owners aren't gonna like having to kick him out. You know, I don't think they want, to be regulated. If you're purely coming from financial standpoint, it hurts basketball because no sponsors want to touch you. People are disgusted. You're almost looking at this as, is this now a racist sport? Because it's almost like a master slave scenario that Sterling's painting. So you have to wonder, do you want to support an entire organization like that? So I don't know. I'm so interested in what you all think. So let me know if it was your team that you enjoyed watching, would you continue to support them? Like I said with the Marlins, I couldn't do it. After other steps were taken to try to resolve it, I kind of got back on board, but in the beginning, I couldn't. All right, you guys, that's it for me. It's with the greatest show on earth. Live long and prosper. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. Poke. And you want to know what the best part of the whole thing is? The best part of the whole thing is he is still married.
Duffy. A Duffy.
What did you think, Duffy?
I think he's been watching way too many episodes of Mad Men.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you there. Next time I do a long YouTube video and it's starting to meander and it's just going off the rails and I don't get enough in a certain amount of time and it goes too long, I am just going to remember Spider-Man 2, because they packed a lot of stuff in just the perfect 1 hour 45, just the right amount of time.